Ooh. We're here. Grab a beer. It's time for GORP. Welcome to the show. My name is Josh, and this is GORP, which of course stands for. This is GORP, which of course GORP stands for Gawk of Love. Oh, you think you can dance? Reaping up with the Kardashians and Perviver. And today we're talking about.
It's not even funny.
Today we're talking about reality TV. Today we're talking about reality TV. And let's introduce ourselves. I'm Josh. Hi.
Hi, I'm Brooke.
Hi, I'm Lucci.
Hey there, I am Fry.
Oh boy, how to give a way to start out. So like I said, reality TV. Our receptacle today is a beautiful seashell. Because they're so flashy on the outside, but they're hollow on the inside. You get it? It's the symbology. First topic is, this is a nice way to start. The early days. So back in the first days of reality TV and the big craze, and what was that like for you?
I think the real world, I think that kind of paved the way. I think the reality TV show that actually set the chain off was the Jersey Shore. Because once the Jersey Shore hit, It blew up. Everybody blew up.
True.
Oh, that caused the big climax in like shows being made. Yeah. Like if they all blew up,
Climax.
It was like 20 shows.
For a lot of people.
Like that's when it started to peak. The reality show wave. Fry, you can't write on your desk. I can hear it. It's bad. Sorry.
Some might say would cause a climax in the way you're operating.
Anyway, Jersey Shore. So you watched that a lot?
Jersey Shore, right? Because Jersey Shore popped it off, man. Then the real reality show set it. Because you had the Real World, then they did like the Amazing Race, and they did all like the game show, TV show stuff. But like, man, Jersey Shore, you don't get better than Snooki, right?
Yeah, it'll get me better than Snooki, right? I mean, am I right? Am I right or am I right? Well, I've actually never seen that show. I've only like total screen time in my life. Snooki has about 1 minute. I've seen her on commercials and stuff. But yeah, before that, the reality TV shows before were like they were so much different. Like it's not as monetized because they didn't know how to make money with it yet. And I think Jersey Shore, like you said, like that was the era where they started really figuring out how to do a really cheap show for a lot of money. You know what I mean? Very low.
But what was your first venture into reality TV?
Oh, my first one.
When did you find yourself? Yeah, your early days. Like, when did you find yourself stumbling into something like some reality TV show? Like,
I was there for Real World. Definitely had Real World on the replay list, and Road Rules. I preferred Road Rules. It just seemed like there was a challenge. There was something to do. I didn't really get the idea of the Real World show because they're just sitting around fighting and making out all the time. And, it's definitely an interesting show. That's why we have reality TV in the first place. But Road Rules was more fun to me. They had challenges and stuff. And the challenge is just like a big part of almost every reality show now. You know what I mean? Give them something to do.
My first obsession was Survivor. I guess you could say I climaxed at Survivor, but
Weird.
For me, my good old days prior to my climax was probably Singled Out, I would say, with Chris Hardwick.
Oh,
I watched a lot of Singled Out, and I don't know why I was just drawn to it as a kid. And then Real World versus Road Rules Challenge, the first one.
Yeah.
And how did it catch my attention? Somehow I turned into an episode where they have to play against Kobe Bryant and Reggie Miller in like 2-on-2 basketball. And I was like a sports guy. I was like obsessed with it. and it was like one of the challenges on Real World versus Road Rules Challenge. And like they played them, and then they end up like stealing something from Kobe Bryant and them. And they have to bring it back, and Kobe Bryant's like, "I'm from Philadelphia, we get even," and he's like talking smack about it to the MTV crew. And then I became really obsessed with a song by Cake because they all go out. I'm young, I'm very impressionable, right? I haven't yet climaxed at Survivor, and they're playing that song. On the road, long, long distance, always through such strong resistance. Need you with me, need you here. I wonder, like, you're never there. That's the name of the song. Never There by Cake. So I was like obsessed with it because of my first venture into
Cake is awesome.
Real World versus Road Rules Challenge. Yeah. What about you, Brooke?
I don't know if these were like the first, but True Life. I used to love watching those True Life. Like,
oh, now I know what you're talking about.
Addiction, or I loved those shows because it was like, I don't know, I'm getting to learn that some people are really freaking weird.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
for sure. True Life is a good way to put it. Yeah,
yeah.
That's always been
the
their
girl
way.
Ate her hair. Do you remember that one? The girl that would like eat her hair on True Life.
There's so many people who do that though. It's gross.
City Hall was on there. It was like alcoholic or some shit. That was crazy.
What did he do if his son was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor? Do you remember?
Is it because he's hungry?
I don't think it was his kid, though. That was the, I want to say, hooker's kid? I don't know what word we're using.
Would you sleep with a man?
I would.
A little bit of money?
Lady of the Nights?
Maybe. I would say that's where that's climaxed, for sure. Probably at that point.
The Night?
Maybe for, like, the man, but I don't feel like it did for women.
You're probably right. Yeah, but it's a song about survival through struggle, right?
Survival.
Okay.
Survive!
All right. Well, Josh, I think we may have climaxed this topic.
Let's change it up. Now we... Oh, wow. Survive! That was great timing. So, this is about the survival shows, the hunting shows, the guys out in Alaska hunting.
Bless you.
The real
You're
nice.
Talking about the Deadliest Catch, Josh?
That's definitely
Crabs?
on the
Survival
list.
shows.
Definitely. I'm like, yeah, all those shows where like these people are gonna die, or they might die. Alone. Oof. I like Alone. Alone's my favorite.
I liked Alone a lot. I really haven't watched too many of them though. I guess like Naked and Afraid.
Sure.
I like
you
that.
ever notice on Naked and Afraid, Brooke? Like the first thing they both do is they both look down, like when they meet each other.
Yes, biology, dog.
It's either like sorry about you or good for you. Anyway, sorry for you guys not laughing about that.
Yeah, Alone's good.
Lucci, what about you when it came to survival shows?
During the lockdowns, we got big into Naked and Afraid, but another one that was really good was Man vs. Wild, Bear Grylls. I think that was the Bear Grylls one.
Oh, Bear Grylls.
I was
sort of, yeah.
I thought when I was a kid, I thought that quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem in my life than it actually turned out to be. But Bear Grylls did this whole thing about how you get out of quicksand. So if it does pop up, your boy's ready for the quicksand. So
yeah, boy is ready.
I'm getting out of quicksand on my own. I'm a lay foot. Anyway, so Man vs. Wild is the way to go for survivable shows for me.
Man vs. Wild, that one is really cool to watch him do stuff, but like so much of it was staged, which is the point of all this reality stuff. Like it's all brushed up to look more,
as opposed to the real world. That was
like when he's
totally
just like
all natural.
When he's squeezing the elephant dung and drinking the water, like, dude, you don't need to do that. You can just tell us that you can do that. Why would you do? Oh, now you're just like drinking poop. Cool, dude.
I think he also
and he'll like jump over a big chasm when you could clearly just like you don't have to. He overdoes things, but it's good for TV. You know what I mean? Settle down, Bear. I like the Survivor stuff a lot, dude. I'm not like crazy into it. Like I feel like I want to be. Just because I don't have enough time to watch enough of them. But I really like camping stuff. Alone's great. Speaking of Bear Grylls, Survivor Man, have you seen Survivor Man? That's the Wild at Heart like rival back in the day.
Yes.
And that dude was the real deal. Like he filmed he didn't have a crew. He was really out there doing it. So he'd like climb a hill, put a camera up there, go back down, record it, and record himself walking up the hill. Just like extra work for no reason. That stuff was kind of cool. It's always cool to see, like, yeah, I got this wire. I'm going to catch 1,000 fish with it in 10 minutes. Check it out. And he just beep, boop, 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 and does it because he knows all the tricks and secrets. Using, like, fish guts for glasses and contact lenses or what. I don't know. Just made that one up. I like camping stuff, Survivor stuff. What about the backpacking survivalist expert shows? You ever seen one of those? Kind of like a True Life?
I always feel like that's somebody on what's that show, The Amazing Race? Like somebody is always a backpacking expert, right? When it comes to like The Amazing Race, like somebody's like, I've studied this for 10 years. I know exactly how to backpack through India.
Crazy.
That reminds me of like Survivor used to be a real Survivor show, and now it's not. Like it used to be like these people are going to lose 30 pounds. Like, you're going to lose a lot of weight, and you're going to struggle to eat. And getting a bowl of rice as your reward is a real big deal. You know what I mean? But now it's not the same as it used to be at all. It's still fun to watch.
They can't torture them. They can't torture them anymore, right? Like, they have to do certain things. Because some of them got, like, actual real, like, diseases from the show.
Yeah. And, like, a lot of mental damage. Like, a lot of people from the old days used to go into therapy. Like, it was pretty frequent for all those people.
Too many lawsuits.
Because the unfair conditions and, they put them in crazy, crazy positions.
Crazy.
What were you going to say, Lucci?
I could thrive on Naked and Afraid, with the exception of the sun, because I have pasty white skin. So, absent the sun, I have enough body fat to get me through 21 days without eating anything, so I'm good to go.
Same.
Good to go. Yeah, that's what you gotta start. You gotta start digging a hole and cover yourself in mud. What year were you a Survivor guy?
2013, I want to say I tried out. Pacheco, a friend of the show, guy that used to actually do some gorping with us. He filmed my video. I climbed up a 50-foot rock face, like free climbed up a 50-foot rock face as fast as I could, and then I yelled to the bottom like my little Survivor speech. But Anna said no.
Anna said no.
Anna's like, you're not coming back to me like emaciated.
Oh, my dad was almost an American Gladiator. He said
I thought he was.
No, he aced all the, like, you have to take a series of tests to make sure that you're fit enough to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the old American Gladiators back in the day. And he, like, smashed all of them except for the run because he tripped. So he tripped and he missed his time. But he was almost on the show. Tough break. Mockumentaries. Not quite reality, but it's fake reality. So it's like reality. Weird.
What's yours, Josh?
Like Spinal Taps, or like The Gods Must Be Crazy. That old
of
movie.
Course.
Stuff's
Well, this
cool.
one goes
I like
up
that.
to 11.
Mm-hmm. Spinal Tap was good. People regard that as the first. I don't know if it was quite the first. Probably in the box office and stuff for sure. But there's always, of course, The Office. You know, everyone loves a good mockumentary for the same reason that not quite the same reason, but the same reason they love a reality show. You know, it's not real, but it seems real, and you buy into it anyway, and it's fun.
Yeah, Arrested Development. I feel like that kind of fits. It's a sitcom, but
but they use
it's
the
also
elements,
like following the Bluth family.
The way they shoot it is like they're in real life, like just following this family around.
Yeah, and they even go meta with it and like talk about that happening while it's happening, like they signing off rights to the movie deal and stuff. Yeah,
And like this show getting canceled, they even bring it up. Like, so if people don't watch that show, it's going to get canceled, and those actors will never be able to work again.
That was such a good show. Have you seen that, Luch? It's one of the best shows ever made.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It's a good one.
I would say mine is Best in Show. Best in Show is like my favorite reality, and it's from the same people that did This Is Spinal Tap. But like Eugene Levy with the two left feet playing like the real person, having to walk the dog and be able to turn to his right, but he's got two left feet.
Oh, that's great.
And
love Eugene
they
Levy.
visit that. We think we're going to go to Philadelphia and see the cream cheese factory. We're going to tour that. And this is everything about that movie. And one of my good friends' stepmom was actually one of those dog folks, the people that did the dog shows and all that stuff. And she was like, this is pretty accurate. She's like, people are kind of crazy like this at these things. Like, there's a scene in Best in Show where, like, the dog starts barking at somebody, and they're like, what did you do? What did you do to her? What, do you have Busy Bee? Do you have Busy Bee? Where's Busy Bee? And then he's like, I forgot Busy Bee. And she starts beating the hell out of her husband. What do you mean you forgot the Busy Bee? What do you mean? So, like, I remember that movie, like, pretty vividly as, like, at first I did think it was kind of real because I think it was so young, but then I realized that was just a movie. It's, like, fake. They're faking actually being in a dog show. What about you, Lucci? Anything like that for you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually a big mockumentary guy because I think that everything's ridiculous. Cool. So I like making fun of things. I think one of the ones that's out right now that not a lot of people have watched is, you ever see Murderville? It's Will Arnett.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Will Arnett. It's on Netflix, and it's basically they set up a crime scene or a crime or whatever, and then they bring in celebrities to, like, who don't have a script, and they just do a show. And it's absolutely hysterical. Because Will Arnett's a detective, and he's so funny.
Everyone has lines and stuff, but except for the
guest. Like, T-Pain was on it. Like, there's or not.
Herschel Walker was the best one.
Yeah. Dude, it was.
Yeah, dude, he was the best in that show.
What the hell was that girl's name? Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone was on it.
Sharon Stone was on it. She was good. Conan O'Brien.
That's really good. If you haven't seen that, it's such a funny show. They do a Christmas episode. It's so funny. And then another one that nobody has ever watched that is so funny is when they shot the Muppets, like The Office. You ever seen that?
Oh, shit.
It was like 2 seasons long of the Muppets doing The Office, and it was so funny. And it just died.
Wow.
The old people don't care about it anymore. But, man, it was hysterical. Oh. So both of those things are my top-notch documentary picks.
What about, like, Documentary Now? You seen that?
Yeah.
Documentary Now?
Yeah. So, like, each episode is a spoof of a documentary that actually happened. And it's Fred Armisen and the guy who's on Barry.
Bill Hader.
Yeah. So it's those two in all of them, and there's usually guests and stuff, but they take actual award-winning documentaries and they spoof them. So each episode's a different documentary.
Shit. What about Drunk History?
Pretty good. Documentary Now. Oh, Drunk History.
Drunk History is dope.
Wait, so would Between Two Ferns be considered a mockumentary?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm still a little confused on how and what is a mockumentary, but okay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and then Jimmy
Brie Larson.
Him.
Oh,
that one with Brie Larson was awful. I mean, in a good way. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I hear you don't like getting asked personal questions. No, I don't.
Yeah.
So how was your first period?
But you guys remember Jiminy Glick when Martin Short did Jiminy Glick? Jimmy Glick?
Yeah, Jiminy Glick.
It was like he was a really obese guy.
The movie critic?
Yeah, you've been in the showbiz for quite a while now. Tell us about your love life. And he'd always shove food in his face.
Sure.
Or Kunk on Earth. That's a new one that's on Netflix. It's hilarious. She's so funny. You gotta check it out, Brooke. I think you'd love it.
What's
she
next,
talks
sir?
about human history. Next we got I'm a Star, Give Me a Show. Yeah. So people who have a reality show just because you know their name.
I got a good one. You guys remember The Flavor of Love?
Oh yeah, boy.
So not that one, because I think that show is hysterical. But after The Flavor of Love, they did a spinoff with the one Tiffany, and the show was called I Love New York, and it was a train wreck.
New York.
Yeah. I Love New York.
Yeah, her name was
an absolute train wreck, and that is the that's the primo example of that. Called the was it Chance and 8-pack and shit.
Oh my
god,
so
funny, man.
Show.
That was so
messy.
That reminds me. Go ahead.
So why did you love it?
It's so messy.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's so messy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so that came out, I think I was maybe in 8th grade, junior high type, or like high school era. And I'm from a very, very rural area. And so that was like how I knew culture at all, is through TV. And like there was just white people at my school. There was no anybody of any color at all. And so it was kind of fascinating for me at that time. I was like, wow, this is so interesting. What a very interesting way of life. And I remember watching it, and my dad was like, turn that shit off.
Yeah.
I just loved it.
Oh yeah,
People getting spit on and throwing drinks.
Yeah, people get like this. Poop was involved in one episode, I think. They had a pee poo poo episode.
Yeah, wasn't that Flavor of Love though?
Oh,
wasn't that Flavor of Love where someone like pooed on the stairs or something?
And he's like,
oh my god!
Flavor the rest of the episode. Oh,
Pink Eye of Love.
Damn. He's the man.
How you know it's love?
That reminds me of what was the one where it's like Hip Hop of Love or like Hip Hop Love movie show where it was like all like C-level rappers, Hip Hop and Love and Hip Hop,
Love
and Hip Hop,
and basketball.
Love and Hip Hop.
Lucci got it. It was Lucci.
Like Atlanta, New York. That's where I first saw Cardi B, and I think that's where most people first saw Cardi B. And I saw that woman, I was just like aghast because she was like turned all the way up in that show. Though she's like like all the time. She's such a cartoon character, and she wasn't even the worst one on the show. It was just a very, very. I mean, it was a ratchet show, and you know that can suck in sometimes. Like Jerry
when
Springer's.
I think of I'm a star, I'm going to be a star. Honestly, I don't think of the people that actually made it onto a reality show. Like the Johnny Bananas on The Challenge, who just became famous due to the reality show, or Kyle Brandt, who's on NFL Network now, who is like a real TV guy, or a real world guy, pardon me. But I think, honestly, when you say that category, the first thing that pops in my head is like the early years of American Idol, when Simon was like really mean to people, and they'd be like escorted out by security, screaming like, "I'm gonna be a star. You ain't seen the last of me. I'm gonna be the greatest singer of all time." And then they'll sing, like they'll start singing their song all the way out of like the arena. Brooke, you would like feel their pain, like you're giving them empathy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna live forever.
Simon was a bully.
Simon used to be ruthless, right? Like, back in the day, Simon used to be so mean to people. And I wish, in a weird way, I kind of think it was for the better, for the greater good. I know that sounds mean.
Well, he laid it on
like,
thick, but
I know it was just television.
No whipped cream on top of his commentary, yeah.
Yeah. It was just, hey, you're going to take this you suck sandwich and you're going to eat it.
Yeah. But sometimes he was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody remember Superstar USA?
No.
It was in like the early 2000s. It was a spoof of American Idol where they had awful singers that weren't allowed to hear each other sing. And they just told them, they told them the entire time that they were amazing. And then the very last episode, they were like, "You're the worst singer."
I do.
Yeah, dude, it was the best.
I do remember that show.
Wow.
It was called Superstar USA.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes, and I remember we're such terrible people. We were into people suffering so much back in the day because I remember that thinking that was hilarious. And I'm like, how does this person not know how bad they are? And now I'm just like, I feel so bad. I found that so funny.
Yeah.
It was a star. You got to watch it. If you
My heart
seen
just
Superstar
dropped a little
USA,
bit.
Just YouTube it. This
You
podcast
gotta
is
see it.
sponsored by Superstar USA.
We are the next Superstar USA.
Brooke, do you
But
want to
if you don't
stick
wanna
with
do
the what was it, I Love New York, or do you have one in particular of the I
That
Am a
wasn't
Star
even mine.
variety? What's that?
That wasn't even mine, was it?
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want yours. That's
Yeah, tell him yours in private so he can take it.
All right, come here. I got something to tell you.
secret.
No, the first one that came to mind is that Zac Efron has a show on Netflix, and I forget what it's called, but it's like he goes around the world and just kind of experiences the world and energy, I think. But I actually liked the show. I thought it was an interesting concept, but obviously the only reason he got the show is because he's famous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Chris Hemsworth, same thing.
Zac Efron does things. I think it's Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
It sounds right.
You know what? Actually, I heard him on a podcast talking about it, and it sounds really dope. I guess you're supposed to be all over the world, but the last season was, or is going to be, all in Australia because they filmed during COVID. They couldn't leave, so they just did all Australia for one season. But I just imagine him, like, almost every scene before the scene cuts to the next scene, he'd just shrug, be like, It's my life. I'm Zac Efron. See ya.
Actually, Josh, I know the exact podcast you heard that on. It was called Popcorn and Beers, which is also available on this network, dropping a little bit before this one, typically every Monday or Tuesday. Jordan, our other co-host.
Today we're talking about home and garden, do DIY, extreme makeovers, that kind of stuff. What do you like about them? And pimp my riding and stuff like that.
My riding.
Chopper.
Brooke, what was your first dalliance into the home improvement, home pimp my riding?
My first one was, probably Pimp My Ride, but the one that I really like to watch is What Not to Wear.
Okay.
I loved that show. I just loved it because you got these people just wearing like regular clothes, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and jeans to like their formal office job. And you get a budget of $5,000 to like revamp your whole wardrobe, and they get like 6 pieces of clothes and like a pair of shoes.
It was a good show.
So I have to give up my entire wardrobe for that?
Yeah. Like all my sweatpants, dog? I can't have one pair of sweatpants, dog?
Yeah.
I like that show, how what was cool about it was they did teach people who weren't fashion forward at all. They teached them. They teach them good, and I was talking about like the basics of just dressing good. You know, like just always have a little black dress, and then just some accessorize here and there. You don't have to do too much, sweetheart. You know what I'm talking about? You just got to take it slow. And then just a jacket that goes with everything, that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. Anyway, what I was thinking about for the home and garden is I really like people doing gardens. I'm not a big fan of like reno stuff where we take the sledgehammer and bust down the walls because all of it seems so fake to me.
Bless you.
I can't buy into that because I feel like they're ruining the house or they're overdoing it for the sake of the TV show. Like how Pimp My Ride would put TVs in the mud flaps of the truck. Like, why do you have that? Like, why are we making the kids' room so ocean-like? We could just put a painting in there. You know?
It's called
wild stuff.
The other drivers on the road, and if I'm watching something on the road, they should be able to see it too.
I want you to know that I'm watching big old butts on TV.
That reminds me of somebody we used to know, Lucci, who used to play like stuff in his Dodge Magnum all the time with his little. You remember that guy? I would say my thing with this, all I can think of, honestly, the home improvement, because I don't like the home improvement genre. I don't like it. I think it's all fake and staged, and all those people are super rich.
You're fake.
And probably like 90% of them should not be super rich off of what they've, because they have whole teams of people telling them what to do. But I always remember this dude, like, I think his name's like Ty Treadway, and I just remember, bus driver, move that bus!
Yeah, that dude was railed out of his mind every episode.
All the time, just...
He was snowed up, dog. Snow day.
What about you, Luigi? Do you actually do the home improvement thing?
I got two, guys.
Okay.
Strap up.
Got the team
first one's a mockumentary. Remember the...
What am I strapping up?
It.
You're nuts.
I'm strapping up. What?
I don't like it. Sorry.
It up. Anyway, you guys remember, I don't know if you watched Always Sunny, but when they did the home improvement renovation on that...
Yeah.
Destroyed their house with a
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Yeah, that's so good.
They think they're like getting deported in the episode because they like kidnapped the family.
Yeah.
They take out a credit card.
Oh my god.
And then they're like, he's like, why do you light a fire and then open my window to set up a nice cross train? The shorts, right? I cut my jeans to make jean shorts.
The shorts,
it's the best, dude.
Yeah. Look what I can do.
So since I think that those shows, I think those shows are ridiculous. So I'm going to go in a Brooke direction about the personal improvement. Have you guys ever watch Queer Eye?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
Straight Guy was dope, dude, because they would just come in, they would be like, hey, I'm ugly, my wardrobe sucks, can you make me look metro? And then they would just give them a bunch of clothes, and they'd be like, look, you're still ugly and you're broke, but here's some here's a suit. And everybody would be like, oh, dude, that's dope.
And here's some face cream.
That was my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you didn't have all these
That
pictures.
was good. Yeah.
We'll check in next year. Yeah, I used to like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like it when they check in
Check
next
in
year
next
on all
year.
the shows. We came back and it totally
Like, what's going
the
on?
restaurant
They go
was
back and
ruined. It was
sit on his
bankrupt.
porch with a fat dip in his mouth.
Are you the census man? Get out of here.
Yeah. Dude,
Y'all are back, huh? It's been a year already.
playing the banjo on his porch swing, and they're like, "What happened to the suit we gave you? Why did it change your life?" He's like,
I sold the suit for a banjo. Changed my life.
"Yeah, dude, that shit was."
I think we got time for one more, Josh.
Okay, so we got some stuff to pick from then.
Old
Okay, so
school.
we got-
You're throwing it back old school. We used to do this on some of the older episodes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Pick them up. We got 3 left. So the first one is occupational. So like you have a show because you have a job, like the pawn shop or the maybe even Deadliest Catch guys, the Crab Boys, or Dirty Jobs, for instance. And then we got love on film, so romance stuff, bachelors and whatnot, the dating shows. And then of course, American Kids Got Singing. So that's all the talent stuff, dancing and all that stuff. Occupations, love stuff, or talent stuff.
Why don't we all just say one from one of those categories?
Whichever.
So I'm
The
gonna
other
go.
one.
I'm gonna go with 2. I'm
Occupational.
gonna drop 2 real quick, right in your lap. Number 1, obviously, singing shows. The greatest, who I think is the best diva of our generation. Kelly Clarkson came out of American Idol, right? So she's my all-time favorite.
yeah,
She's
dude.
got the best voice of our generation. American
Dude,
Idol
I
is
had her
obviously
picked from the audition.
success because they found him. Yeah, of course you did. Sure,
Yeah.
everybody did. I get it. Whatever. And then, the job one. You guys remember that show where the undercover boss, where he'd go in and the dude,
Yeah.
they'd put like a set of glasses on, and he'd be like, "Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
Not that your general manager figures up on the
That's just a
wall.
40-year-old
He's
man
like, "But
scooping
this
ice
guy
cream.
has glasses. This can't be him because he has glasses. If he took his glasses off, he
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to see, right? So how would it can't be the same
Superman
guy.
and Clark Kent.
So they would take this guy into the back where they were washing dishes or whatever, and they would just be like, "I hate this place. I want to leave. This place has rats. Everyone should never eat here. I hate it. And I think everybody should just quit right
Mhm.
now. We should shut this place down." And it was just the best show ever. And then
Mhm.
the boss would interview him at the end, and he would be like, "Why don't you like it here?" And he's like, "Because this place stinks."
Yeah.
I don't know. That's me.
This is great.
And he's like,
and there's
well,
always
what if
that
I
one
gave you
person.
one of your-
Yeah. There's always that one person. We're going to send you to management school, and we're going to get you through college, and your grandma's going to she's going to live. She's going to live.
Yeah. You're going to spend time.
It's just a bunch of people bossing each other around.
You're going to have an internship at
Have you ever
McDonald's
seen
and
the,
learn how to
Star
really
Wars
fry
spoof?
cook.
There's a Star Wars spoof on SNL
what
where it was
spoof?
It was Star Wars, but it was Kylo Ren on the Death Star pretending to be a regular dude, and he'd always just kill people randomly because he was a bad manager. Anyway, sorry.
I have been obsessed with Love is Blind.
Okay.
Have you guys seen this show?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay, so it's this dating show.
Oh, she has.
Netflix, and they meet each other in these pods. They never see each other. They're just talking through a wall, basically. And they decide to get engaged with sight unseen, and then eventually maybe get married. And the way that Netflix has filmed this and their editing, it is so juicy. They just leave it on cliffhangers, and then they I don't know, they edit the conversations. Obviously it's reality, but they're editing the conversations to equate something that's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty obsessed with it.
Lucci,
That's
you
cool,
too?
dude.
I love Love is Blind. I love it. I think it's a great show.
Hmm.
It's a great show.
I love it.
But we talked for 20 minutes. Let's get married, and then they see each other, and they're like,
I love
"Never
you."
mind." It's awesome. It's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. That's
Wow.
so funny. I would say I haven't really, I'm not into the love shows, I tried my best. I love it when they make fun of The Bachelor on actual sitcoms and stuff like that.
Mm,
But
yeah.
do you guys remember the show Next?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. With the bus?
They would just
Yep.
kick them off the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Walk home.
My name's Zach. I'm into motorboarding,
Yeah,
and I'm
he's
here to
27,
party.
and he has a motorcycle.
Yeah. It's like, no, I didn't like her. Why? She was ugly. Oh, well, she can't get on the bus. Walk home. Why do I have to walk home? He thought you were ugly.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? I know they lose the game.
Nah.
And he's so blunt about why they lost the game.
Yeah.
Like the way you ate with your fork. No, it's okay. There was one more. And what was the show? Like, of course, you had Cheaters. You guys remember Cheaters with the Greco, where they would catch
rough
the
sometimes, dude.
Hey, why are you cheating on your wife? I saw you go to that motel room. And he'd like get in their face, like, no, talk to me. The guy's like, dude, stop. I don't want to be on TV with this.
Yeah.
And then the other one I was going to say was, do you guys remember the show? Was it Blind Date? Is that what it was called? Where they would put like what they were thinking in their heads.
Yeah.
The little word blurbs. Was
that
totally?
Yeah.
That
It was like pop-up
one.
video with it. It was good.
Yeah. He's like, so the guy would always inevitably say something stupid like, I would say I really enjoy sex with multiple partners. And then the word blurb would be like, why did I say that? I'm so stupid.
Or like, still a virgin or something. Like,
still a virgin.
Gold.
Totally lying.
Yeah, that predates the comment section.
Yes.
When I was living with my family back in high school, we got into what was it called, Joe Millionaire or Average Joe, where he was not rich, but they pretended he was.
Yeah.
He basically had a Bruce Wayne lifestyle, and it was all fake, but it was all like Catch a Gold Digger kind of show.
Yeah,
bitch. So it was not a very good show. And the guy, Joe, I don't know why they picked him, because he was just a dunce, dude. Like, he was a dummy. Like,
bro, you know why they picked him. He was gorgeous.
I like to drink milk a lot. And I've been monitoring my chest hair growth. I think it's filling in and just, carb it up, you know what I mean? They just, just hug it, chug it, football, But yeah, he was gorgeous. But it was so funny because in the end, the girl he went with was the substitute teacher, super sweetheart, wonderful woman. But like, she'd already, like, they couldn't edit it out. Like, it was so clear to her, like, this is all stupid. And she didn't really like Joe Millionaire, but she was in the show. So like, she was like constantly looking off like elsewhere, like at the cameras. Like, are you guys still filming? Like, this is not good TV, but we're gonna. And then there was like the big, like, oh, I choose you. And they had the big ceremony. So they walked to this room and it's candles and beautiful romance. And they had this slow dance. And that's how the credits roll. But like the whole time she was like, it was like she was dancing with her brother at a wedding or something. It was just like, and then he was just smiling like Putty from Seinfeld. Like, okay. It was so funny. Garbage TV, you know what I mean? But sometimes you need a little garbage to get through the day.
I love a little trash every once in a while.
A little Trey.
Gook of Love.
Hey,
Gook
Joey,
of Love. Wow.
You got stabbed on one of those shows, those episodes of Cheaters.
Yeah. Like on the boat. He like gets stabbed on a boat.
You got shot.
Who?
Greco, he gets stabbed.
Oh,
Yep.
Cheaters, yeah. Somebody comes out, pops out of this boat and just shanks him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much where the show climaxed.
Yeah.
Is that again?
Yeah, so I guess that's been the GORP show, guys. Thanks for coming out and hearing about some reality. Next week, I think we're going to talk about what Half-Life really actually means and how we can find out what ours is. I'm Josh. You can catch me at JR Berkeley on Instagram. You can catch the show at TheSadFan on YouTube's, also on the Spotify's, and Twitter at GORP Show. At GORP Show. Yeah.
Yeah.